There are moments in life when understanding another person quickly is not just useful, it is essential. A business deal that could determine the future of your career. A negotiation where one wrong move costs millions. A first meeting that sets the tone for years of partnership. A confrontation where trust or betrayal hangs in the balance. In these high-stakes situations, time is short and the margin for error is thin. You do not have the luxury of long conversations or slow analysis. You must read people instantly, capturing the truth beneath the surface before it slips away. Speed reading people is not magic. It is not about psychic powers or guessing games. It is about sharpening observation to such a degree that within moments you detect the signals that others miss. Every person leaks information through their eyes, their voice, their posture, their gestures, their timing. The untrained observer overlooks these clues, distracted by words. The skilled reader notices them immediately, weaving them into a portrait that reveals who the person is, what they want, and how they are likely to act. The first step in speed reading is to establish a baseline. Everyone has natural patterns, their normal tone of voice, their typical rhythm of speech, their usual posture. By paying attention to these within the first moments of interaction, you create a mental snapshot of what normal looks like for that person. Then, as the conversation continues, you watch for deviations. Does their voice suddenly rise in pitch? Do their eyes dart where they were steady before? Does their body shift, closing off or leaning away? These changes are red flags, signs that something beneath the surface has shifted, whether it is stress, deception, excitement, or fear. In high-stakes environments, people often wear masks. They rehearse stories, control their words, and practice their expressions. But no mask is perfect. Under pressure, the body betrays the truth. Pupils dilate in excitement or fear. Microexpressions flash across the face. A hand trembles before steadying. The person may project confidence with their words, yet their posture tightens, shoulders rising defensively. These cracks in the facade are small, but in critical moments they reveal far more than words ever could. Consider the boardroom negotiation. Two sides sit across the table, each presenting their case. One party insists they are uninterested in concessions, their tone calm and firm. Yet as they speak, their foot taps rapidly under the table, betraying nervous energy. Their smile holds, but their eyes betray flickers of doubt. In that instant, you know they are not as firm as they appear. You adjust your strategy, pushing gently at the edges of their certainty, knowing they are closer to yielding than they admit. Without speed reading, you would have taken their words at face value. With it, you see the gap between mask and reality. Speed reading is equally vital in moments of danger. Imagine meeting someone whose words are polite, but whose eyes remain cold, unblinking, their gestures sharp and abrupt. The body signals aggression even as the mouth speaks kindness. To miss this clue is to be caught off guard. To see it is to prepare, to guard yourself, to step carefully. Human beings are wired for survival, and your instincts often notice more than your conscious mind. By training that awareness, you transform instinct into precision. High-stakes settings demand not only awareness of individuals, but of group dynamics. In a meeting, watch how people align with or withdraw from one another. Who speaks with confidence, and who glances nervously at a colleague before answering? Who leans forward with energy, and who folds inward, silently resisting? Within minutes, you can map alliances, detect hidden conflicts, and identify who holds real influence. Sometimes the person with the loudest voice is not the true decision maker. Sometimes power rests quietly in the one whose subtle nods guide the group's direction. Another crucial element of speed reading is emotional resonance. People cannot hide their emotional state forever, no matter how polished their words. Anger leaks through in compressed lips, narrowed eyes, clipped tones. Fear appears in restless movements, widened eyes, shallow breathing. Excitement glows in dilated pupils, rapid speech, and open posture. Sadness weighs on the body, pulling shoulders downward, slowing the rhythm of voice. By recognizing these signals within seconds, you not only understand what the other person feels, but you can also adapt your approach, soothing fear, redirecting anger, amplifying excitement, or offering support. In high-pressure environments, time magnifies perception. A hesitation of 1 second before answering may seem trivial, but in a crucial moment, it is significant. Did the person pause because they were thinking or because they were inventing? Did they stumble over words because they were nervous or because they were hiding something? Speed reading requires you to treat every hesitation, every shift, every flicker as data, not conclusive on its own, but meaningful when added to the larger pattern. It is important to recognize, however, that speed reading is not about rushing to judgment. The goal is not to label someone instantly and assume you know their entire story. It's about forming rapid, flexible hypotheses based on observation and then testing those hypotheses as the interaction unfolds. It is about reading the signals quickly enough to guide your next move while staying open to adjustment as more information emerges. Flexibility is what separates skillful profiling from dangerous stereotyping. Perhaps the greatest advantage of speed reading people is anticipation. By noticing signals others miss, you can predict behavior before it happens. You see the subtle signs of resistance before someone says no. You detect openness before they say yes. You recognize withdrawal before they walk away. This foresight allows you to act strategically, guiding the interaction toward your desired outcome while avoiding unnecessary conflict. In high-stakes settings, that anticipation is not just helpful, it is decisive. Of course, the ability to speed read others must be paired with control of your own signals. Just as you are observing others, they are observing you. If your voice wavers, if your posture collapses, if your gestures betray uncertainty, you will lose influence before you begin. Mastery means both reading others swiftly and managing your own presence carefully. It is a dance of perception and projection, awareness and control. In the end, speed reading people in high-stakes situations is about clarity under pressure. It is about seeing beneath the surface, catching truths in the instant they appear, and using that insight to act wisely. It transforms negotiations, strengthens leadership, protects against deception, and deepens human connection. Most people move through these moments blind, distracted by words and blind to signals. You will not. You will see. And in that seeing, you will find the power to navigate any high-stakes moment with confidence and precision. So the next time you enter a critical meeting, an interview, a negotiation, or even a confrontation, remember this: people cannot hide their truth for long. Their bodies, their voices, their eyes, their movements will reveal them. Your task is to notice quickly, to connect the dots, and to act with purpose. The difference between success and failure often rests on a single moment of insight. Train yourself to see it, and you will always be one step ahead.